Hey everyone, this is Nick Saylor with Saylor Tax and Accounting. Today I just wanted to make a quick video talking to you about what I do, how I got into doing tax and accounting for small businesses, kind of what I've learned in the last 18 months and where I see the business headed. So what I do is I am a tax and accounting guy for small businesses. Small businesses can work with me to outsource all of their accounting and tax work. I do tax preparation. I will do full outsourced accounting in QuickBooks for businesses so that all their books are reconciled and they know where their business financials are at. And then I also do what I like doing the most is tax strategy. So I'll build an entire tax plan for someone based on their income, their personal details, their family, their goals. It all changes so much. But when you have the details of their business situation, you combine that with what they're looking to do and where they're currently at, you can create some really great tax savings opportunities. And that's what got me into the business and what I really like about it. So a little background on me. I've always been, had a big interest in personal finance. I've always understood numbers and wanted to have my own business. But I also, grew up pretty risk averse and thinking, I understood the numbers. If you just go to college and get a decent job and save this much in a Roth IRA a year with your compound interest, you're going to retire a millionaire. So it was almost like if you just do things the safe way, you don't have to do much else. And this was cool for a couple of years after I graduated college because it just felt like I had it all figured out and I didn't have to try that hard. Pretty quickly though, I realized that I wanted to do more. So in looking and starting a business, what I realized I was really interested in was this personal finance, in running a business, things like that. And one thing that stuck out in my mind that was so cool about running a business and the personal finances that come with it is being able to play the tax game. Like I would see tweets or YouTube videos about people talking about how they bought this property to write it off their taxes and it lowered, it made them 50 grand, but it lowered their taxes by 40 grand in year one. Things like that. Seeing people play the tax game was really interesting to me. And now I didn't have some skill like being an electrician, making cabinets or anything else like that to start a business, but the skill I did have and that I would develop over time and still am is understanding business, understanding the numbers, and helping people lower their taxes with a tax plan. So it was about 18 months ago, it was the start of 2022. I decided this is what I'm going to do. Before I even decided it, I thought, I want to learn how to prepare taxes and do all this. So I'll have to get my CPA license. Now, I looked into it a little bit and I learned that you don't need a CPA to file taxes. So it was almost like I called my own bluff in that own moment. I was ready to go do an extra year of school and some really hard tests just so I could file taxes for people. And then I learned you didn't need to. So I had to look myself in the mirror and say, well, if you were about to spend a bunch of money and go to school and take tests for all this just to maybe get a job doing it, you just need to start now because you can. So, with that was when I reached out to two people that I knew personally with, small businesses, just simple operations on their end. And I said, hey, I want to get into taxes. I don't know what I'm fully doing yet, but I'd like to do your return if you're willing to let me. I'll basically do it for free. And I'll do my best, and I will, make sure I don't sign something that's inaccurate or incorrect. So it was kind of tough to take that leap, but I did it, and through that, and just it was a blessing that those people said yes because I was able to learn. And then over that whole first year, I kind of learned real basics of, filing a tax return, how tax deductions work, all those sorts of things. And then over the next year, I started to do tax estimates for people, looking at their business, looking at their tax credits they get and say, where are you going to land at the end of the year for taxes and how can we make that a little bit less? So started off really simple, just really easy returns, really simply understanding what goes into determining tax liability and kind of how to make those things go down and legally. Now, over time, I learned that what's paramount to all of this for a small business to one, estimate where they're going to end up for taxes, and two, get it down, is to have a set of books, a set of, like in QuickBooks, they need a profit and loss, they need a balance sheet. We need to know where they're going to land, and we need to know it with a high level of accuracy. And what I learned is that most business owners don't have that. Now, QuickBooks is marketed as something that is DIY. I will tell you now, it is not DIY. You can do it yourself and it will suck. I've worked with over 50 businesses in the last year, And unfortunately, anyone I've come into, often even if it was with a bookkeeper before, the books aren't up to par, especially if the business owner is doing it themselves. So I learned quickly that to help people the best, to prepare the best tax returns, to help people get taxes down best and do it legally, I need to be, or someone needs to be maintaining their books and doing that regularly and working with the business regularly to ensure compliance and accuracy. So that was when I kind of pivoted what I was doing with this business to get businesses that we work with every month, ongoing, and maintain their documents and their financials, and we work with them to be compliant and get their taxes down and have insightful financial statements. So that's kind of the progression of how I got from just something really simple, wanting to just a naive idea of helping people get their taxes down, to now where it turned into more of I wouldn't even say your typical tax and accounting firm, because most either do file taxes or they will do books. There's not a ton of people who are willing to do both, and I think that's where a big part of the value proposition comes in, because instead of coordinating your tax preparer and your accountant throughout the year, or at least at tax time, you don't need to do that, because in-house I do it all for a business. Now, like I said, I started the business about 18 months ago. In December of 2023, I had one recurring client. They paid $250 a month. It was really simple, really, really easy, but I was still learning a lot with them. And now since then, tax season, it blew up. I did about 40 tax returns, but I didn't get all those people as recurring clients. But now I've been adding about 1 or 2 clients per month at a range anywhere from $500 a month up to about $2,000 a month. So that's kind of how it's worked for me as a business, and growing that. I hired my first employee about 2 months ago. So it's a constant evolution of what can I learn and what can I do better. Right now I'm at a point where I am busy with the work that I have, not so much that I can't keep up with it at all. But what I'm trying to learn right now is how to serve clients in the best way possible, so that they're extremely happy with the services and that they never leave. Because if you have a business, if you have a book of clients that don't leave, or at least rarely do, and you add one a month, your business is only going to grow. So, I'm really learning 2 things right now: is how to run a business and make customers happy, and then also just how to do my craft and my skill in tax and accounting even better. So it's a constant process. I'm thrilled to have the clients that I do right now, and I know that I'll keep building it as we go. And that's just a little bit about me and why I am in the tax and accounting profession, and how I'm excited for it to build into the future. Thanks for watching.